But the WNBA is not even profitable, though. They're not even profitable. They're asking for more money. They don't even generate revenue like the NBA does. They're not profitable. Why are they wearing t-shirts for asking more revenue? The NBA is profitable, though. They want more, like 50%, and they only get 9%. They shouldn't be wearing shirts. They're not even, do you know the revenue projections? They lost like $50 million.
This video was titled, "This is how the WNBA shirts got a lot of y'all sounding," from the great Kev on Stage.
Your CBA is coming up, and that's a big fight in itself. Y'all ready?
Well, I've been ready. I've been ready years ago. I was ready to sit out. But like you said, we've always been at the forefront. That's been the blueprint since I came into the league. I was like, oh, we some bad women. When we feel something, speak it. When we don't like something, say it. So that's always kind of been us. But into this new CBA, yeah, you gonna give us our money and you gonna give us our money now, because we understand basic economics. Like, you're talking to a league that we don't have leniency of, like, we can't go one and done. You're gonna get a 4-year education, you're gonna have a degree, so we all understand basic economics. We're not asking for what our male counterparts are making, but we're absolutely asking for what our league is now driving revenue-wise. Yeah, you need to run us our money. You have to take care of the product on the court, because that is what makes your product overall better. So in this new CBA, no, we're fighting for more money, we're fighting for more rights, we're fighting for the next generation of women, right? So that they don't have to go through these same battles that we're going through today. Even though things like, people don't know, we don't even get nothing off our jersey sales.
Right.
Like, how is that even possible in a league where it's like, shit is sold out, so why am I not receiving money for that?
If unaware what has gone down recently.
Yeah, Malika, these shirts had been in the works for about a week leading up to Saturday night's game. It was really spearheaded by the leaders, the player leaders of the PA. As you heard Kelsey Plum say, they wanted to make a collected, united statement, and they felt they don't have to use words to do that. We know that in 2020, they wore shirts that supported the Black Lives Matter movement. They've also worn shirts that supported Brittany Griner when she was being detained overseas. So they knew that shirts would be a powerful and useful way to get their messaging across. Now, there was a players only meeting on Saturday morning, very early, around 8 a.m. So a couple people didn't quite make it down. We all know how big of a party All-Star Weekend was, but the meeting was just to get on the same page, to make sure everyone felt comfortable wearing those shirts and that everyone was ready to go out and make this statement, take the message, the conversations that they've been having behind closed doors for the last couple months, and bring them to the national forefront. As you said, Malika, this was such a huge All-Star Weekend. So many eyes were on this weekend. They knew that they could really get their point across here.
Where do things stand in these CBA negotiations and conversations?
Yeah, it seems like they're at a little bit of a standstill. The part that is really holding everything up is the topic of increased salary, and what the players are saying is getting a bigger piece of the pie when it comes to revenue shares.
WNBA players wore "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts, right? Take a guess what faction of media hated it.
This is a sign of how desperate they are. This is a sign of how delusional they are. This is a sign of how dumb they are. Dumb, desperate, and delusional. Many of you just want to surrender. I can't surrender. I will not surrender. As I've told you a million times on this show, Christians organize sports. The WNBA players represent what we've been getting served from NBA players and professional athletes for years. They think they're better than the fans. They think they don't need fans.
Can we continue to make it better for women of the WNBA? Is different than pay us what you owe us. Because exacting and extracting that revenge payment, if you will, is exactly how we feel. I would just say, as the average consumer, the average sports fan, it's like, hey, now you got to give us the attention that you owe us. We don't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. Some of it is semantics. It's just one word. The word is owe. It's owe. Nobody owes you anything. Zero. Zilch. Zip. Nada.
What exactly are you worth? Because when your stadium is half empty, your ratings are in the gutter, and your league is losing money, who exactly do you think should foot the bill? Today's story is a masterclass in delusion colliding with reality.
But you got to read the room, and by the room I mean the country. If the WNBA ceased to exist tonight, the marketplace would not shift one iota. It wouldn't even recognize it. It wouldn't even notice. Like, literally, outside of just a few diehards that are out there that, you know, just swear by women's basketball, especially women's pro ball, if it went away, we wouldn't even recognize it. They'd have to tell us that they went away for us to even know it happened. And I know some people are offended by me saying that, but I'm just being honest.
So let's get into it, starting here. The Post has more. They landed on pay us what you owe us as the simplified version that they made concerning their beef, which was billed as the eternal fight of corporate America against the people, as bite-sized and palatable as possible to grab attention and gain support. Those words should resonate with all of us.
The WNBA players are not asking for NBA money. They have never asked for NBA money. Currently, they get about 9% of the their portion of things is 9%. And what you saw across social media is people react in a way that shouldn't surprise you, Dan. You've covered sports enough to know that whenever there is labor strife or labor tension between player and owner, people side with the owners, which always blows my mind because I don't understand this constant glazing of billionaires as if they need help, as if they need more support than they already do. And so already you see how these pieces are aligning when it comes to how fans and how people who are casual observers feel about this fight that they are waging. People have to understand that these women, maybe not this generation of women, but what the generations of women in the WNBA have had to endure to make sure they got to the point where, yes, they could say you owe us.
Nick Wright even put it best on his podcast, which I know so many people in this audience will absolutely understand. Okay? General rule of thumb, blind. If workers are trying to extract more money from owners and management, you should be on the workers' side. That's what Nick Wright said. And he's on the money. Yahoo Sports would note the league had a record 2024 season, as of course we know, historic viewership, attendance, and merch sales. We have expansion teams coming in the W. Toronto, Portland, Philly, Detroit, and Cleveland. In 2026, the league is going to begin an 11-year media rights deal worth a reported $2.2 billion. I'm going to get into that momentarily. The current CBA, by the way, expires on October 31st. Happy early Halloween. Claudia Golden is a professor of economics at Harvard and a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She wrote this for the New York Times. As a labor economist and a historian, I study the world of work. Much of my research is focused on gender pay gaps. Working women in the U.S. today earn 84 cents for every dollar a man earns, government data shows. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Working women in the U.S. today earn 84 cents for every dollar a man earns. My job is to question that data. She would add, gender discrimination remains a major problem, and there is now a prominent example for everyone to see: professional basketball. Before I continue, very quickly, I want to make something super effing clear. Instead of looking at guys like Jason Whitlock and the Nelk Boys and vibes-based podcasters and presenters, we should be getting our information from professionals in their respective fields, like Claudia Golden. Instead of hearing hot take artists on Fox Sports Radio go, women asking for more money, no. What we should be doing is focusing on someone like this, who is putting her work out there for everyone to see, to understand, to educate themselves a little bit better, but I digress. The average NBA player's salary, according to Golden, is around $10 million in the current season. That is 80 times what the average WNBA player earns, about $127,000. There was another really important point where everyone says like, oh, well, the NBA owns all of the W. That's the problem here. She would go on to write that the NBA owns half of the W. And just last year, Adam Silver and co. negotiated a deal with Amazon Prime, which is going to feature Taylor Rooks and Cassidy Hubbarth and many other great voices from the studio to the games. I believe Ian Eagle is even on those broadcasts as well. Like, whoever is in charge of the hiring there, A+, you did awesome. NBC is going to be there. I'm sure everyone has seen the... So they're going to be on there as well. Disney is on there as well. So they're going to broadcast both leagues' games over 11 years. That total is $77 billion. Of course, the most important variable is us. It's viewer attention, because that dictates how much someone can sell for a certain ad to be placed somewhere, right? In 2024, the W's total attendance was 1/10 as large as the NBA's. Of course, there are far fewer teams in the W. Thus, the adjustment would suggest the average W salary should be roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of the average NBA salary to achieve pay equity. The next line she would type is rather devastating. Instead, the average W salary is a minuscule fraction, a mere 1/80th of the NBA salary. There's also a talking point of, well, the NBA is losing money on the WNBA. Why are they asking for more? And Golden would rebuke this as well. NBA owners claim they lose money on the W, yet the recent willingness of investors to pay high sums for WNBA expansion teams suggests quite the opposite. In the league's joint venture, management is not giving the W enough credit for the attention and money its players attract. I would love to see somebody like those blokes on Fox Sports Radio or a Whitlock debate this person, because they have no argument. They're going off of, to some degree, I'm not saying all of them are doing this, but to some degree, misogyny, and others just flat out misinformation. And it's a damn shame, because they have humongous audiences on the right that make us look like tiny peanuts. I've requested an interview with Claudia Golden on my independent venture, The Rick Strom Show, and if that does happen, I will keep y'all updated. You should go subscribe to my new show, The Rick Strom Show. I'm going to be interviewing people from sports, music, journalists, authors, sports doctors. It's going to be fantastic. Please go subscribe. Thank you.